There, history lovers and Louisiana enthusiasts. Welcome to Bayou State History's podcast, Bayou Whispers, Unearthing Louisiana's Hidden Stories, your gateway to the untold stories that have shaped our incredible state. I'm your host, and today we're going to do something a little different. Before we start diving into specific tales that make Louisiana so unique, I want to take a moment to explore why these stories matter so much. I think that there's numerous groups, pages, channels devoted to history, to Louisiana history, and they're wonderful. But I want to start off this channel and this podcast understanding why it matters. Why is this so important? Have you ever wondered why local history is more than just a collection of old photographs and dusty documents? Why should we care about preserving the stories of communities, of ordinary people? Stick around because today we're going to unpack the incredible world of local and public history. Let's begin by breaking down what we mean when we say local and public history. These aren't just academic terms, they're about bringing the past to life in the most personal way possible. Local history and public history, they're two separate things. Yes, you can have local history without public history, but in order for it to be accessible to everybody, and I'm jumping ahead here, we'll talk about it in a minute, but in order to make it accessible to everybody, you have to have a method of delivery, and that's where public history really comes into play. But first, local history is like a magnifying glass on our community. Instead of looking at the broad, sweeping national narratives, we're zooming in to the very microscopic aspect of history. We're talking about the specific experiences of a particular place. In our case, the diverse landscapes of Louisiana. From the bustling streets of New Orleans to the quiet bayou communities, local history captures the nuanced, rich tapestry of lived experiences. And public history takes this a step further. It's about making history accessible to everyone, not just scholars and researchers, but to you, to me, to anyone curious about the past. Think of public history as a bridge between academic research and everyday people. It's museums, document, documentaries, walking tours, digital archives, augmented reality, podcasts like this one, all designed to make history engaging and meaningful. Growing up along Mississippi River, right there in Natchez, and spent a lot of my childhood in Louisiana, I was surrounded by history. Every old building, every family story, every traditional recipe, these are historical artifacts. My grandmother's gumbo wasn't just a meal, it was a story of cultural survival, of culinary traditions brought by generations of immigrants, local cooks, the ordinary person in the kitchen cooking. They don't have to be a famous chef. It's these individuals that we have forgotten about. All this is what makes the historical artifacts. Preservation is at the heart of local and public history. And I want you to understand this isn't just about keeping old stuff around, it's about maintaining our collective memory. Every time we lose a story, we lose a piece of our shared human experience. Think about it like this: when an elder in a community passes away without sharing their stories, it's like losing an entire library. Their memories, their perspectives, their unique understanding of the world gone forever. In Louisiana, we have such a rich, complex history. We're a state of incredible diversity. Indigenous communities, African American experiences, French and Spanish colonial histories, Cajun and Creole cultures. Each of these stories deserves to be remembered, preserved, and celebrated. Take the Acadiana region, for instance. The story of Cajun people isn't just about a culture, it's about resilience. Expelled from their homeland in Canada, they created an entirely new way of life in the Louisiana bayous. That's not just history, that's a testament to human adaptability and strength. Local and public history aren't just about memorizing dates or reciting dry facts. They're about understanding the human experience. They help us develop empathy, recognize our connections, and appreciate the complexity of human stories. These approaches to history challenge us. They force us to look beyond simple narratives. They ask us to consider perspectives that might have been overlooked or deliberately silenced. Who gets to tell the story? Whose voices have been marginalized? These are the questions local and public history help us to explore. I want you to do something right now. Think about your own family. What stories have been passed down? What traditions do you carry? These all are historical artifacts, just as valuable as any museum piece. Now, you might be thinking at this point, this sounds interesting, but why does it really matter? Let me tell you, local and public history have very real, practical implications. They inform urban planning, they help us understand environmental changes, they guide policy decisions. By knowing our past, we can make more informed choices about our future. Take coastal Louisiana as an example. Understanding the historical relationship between communities and the environment helps us address modern challenges like coastal erosion and climate change. It's not just about looking backward, it's about navigating forward. Here's something that might surprise you. Uh, Local history is also an economic driver. Heritage tourism brings in millions of dollars into local economies each year. People travel to experience authentic local stories, museums, historical sites, cultural festivals. These aren't just cultural resources, they're economic engines. In future episodes of Bayou Whispers, we're going to dive deep. We'll explore forgotten stories, highlight incredible individuals, and uncover the hidden narratives that have shaped Louisiana. We'll talk to local historians, visit historical sites, and bring you the most compelling stories from across our state. Whether it's the complex history of New Orleans, the agricultural innovations in rural parishes, or the cultural resilience of our diverse communities, we're going to explore it all. I want to close with something to think about. History isn't just about remembering the dates and events, it's about understanding our shared human experience. It's about empathy, connection, and recognizing that every person's story matters. History isn't a linear, fixed thing, it's a conversation. It's alive. And every single one of us has a role to play in understanding and preserving our shared story. I want to hear from you. What stories in your community deserve to be told? And that's kind of a trick question because they all do. But what are some things that would interest you? What historical mysteries intrigue you? Reach out to us on social media, Facebook, or leave a comment. Let's build this historical journey together. Join me next time on Bayou Whispers, where we'll continue to explore the rich, complex, and endlessly fascinating tapestry of Louisiana's past. This is Bayou State History, where every story matters, and history is always more than just the facts. Thank you for listening.